All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Open Space Fireside Chat today. We're very grateful for you all to join us. I'm Valerie Ashe. I'm with Open Space. I'm the National Account Executive for Retail Accounts, and I'm thrilled to have Shawn Black with me today from CGP Maintenance and Construction Services. We'll go through some more in-depth introductions in a moment. But I do want to first introduce you to Open Space for those of you who aren't familiar with us yet and with what we do. So Open Space, our mission is to simplify how the world gets built. And we do that as a 360-degree reality capture solution. This is basically what it looks like out in the wild. We are like Google Street View for construction and operations and maintenance. So what you see here is a person out in the field with a 360-degree camera on his hard hat that's syncing to our app on his mobile device, automatically capturing data mapped and automatically mapped to his geolocation and where he's walking. So this has been a game changer in the industry. If you have used any kinds of reality capture in the past, or you're seeking out a reality capture solution, these are the three pillars that we operate around. We keep things extremely simple. This is an operating principle for our company. We developed the application to be very simple to be used in the field and also to review the data from a desktop. And then it is very fast. We are the fastest 360 capture solution in the market as far as how fast it captures and then how fast you can access that visual data anywhere in the world from a desktop. It's very powerful as well to navigate through the imagery, just like Google Street View, as I mentioned before. We've been around since about 2017. We have created the largest database in the world of construction and operations data, 15 billion square feet captured, over nearly 900 million images of active construction projects and projects under operations from there. More than 22,000 projects worldwide, many of them retail, high volume retail multi-site projects as well, which we'll talk about with Shawn in a moment. And almost 130,000 users globally in over 91 countries. So we also have staff in several countries around the world. So we are a global company. And here's some ways that our customers are benefiting from using Open Space. And without further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to myself and to Shawn. You should be seeing us at this point. And Shawn is coming to us today live from San Diego, California. He's the Regional Vice President of Business Development for CGP Construction and Maintenance Services. Shawn, I'll allow you to tell us more about yourself and what you all do at CGP.
Awesome. Thanks, Val. First, thank you guys for allowing us to be a part of the fireside chat. I was looking for the fire earlier. I couldn't find it, but I'm excited either way to be doing this with you guys. I love your platform and it's a great opportunity to connect with you. And anytime I can talk to you, it's always good.
It's always great. And, if you're looking for the fire, Shawn, you're here creating it. Let's just say the fireside chat with Shawn creating the fire because you all do.
Oh, man. This is why I like talking to you. I feel better as a person. No
pressure. Create some fire, Shawn.
Well, okay. So quick background. I am the regional VP for CGP Maintenance and Construction Services, Inc. I've been here about 9 years. I've been in the service industry for about 30 years in multiple capacities. And CGP is a self-performing general contractor. We specialize in working with retail, hospitality, restaurants, service and maintenance, as well as construction. So, and then that's how we met you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, we share some common customers, which is
we do.
Multi-site retail and hospitality customers. So that's how we met, in case anybody was wondering. Tell me more about CGP. Also, I love the story of the name. What does it stand for?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. It stands for consistently great performance. So we been in business for about 40 years, right? And so we started off, Jim Robinson is our CEO, and he started as, I think he was 10. I swear to God, I don't know how he did, but he started when he was 19, started with the company, was in property management. And so we got our roots in commercial real estate. and broke off as a division, and then really took on the entire thing and started, the company. And then we rebranded as CGP. So yeah, it's a core part of who he is. And being consistent and being great and performing, it's important. So everyone always asks me, by the way, what does that mean, CGP? I'm like, that's consistently great performance. Really? No, really, that is what it's for. It's just what it means. So it's easier to remember. Yeah.
Yeah, consistently great performance.
Consistently great performance.
Learned that, just this week as we're talking about doing this. So I really appreciated understanding that. I have met Jim, amazing individual, really big on, just leadership in general and mentoring and coaching future leaders, not just in the industry, but in general. But really exciting to see all of the lives he's touched and you've touched in this space with, multi-site retailers and hospitality.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool company. So, among our shared customers, kind of want to dig in a little bit and talk about some things, some trends that you see, maybe the top 3 or more top concerns that you see in the multi-site space and in your field of work. What are you kind of seeing out there today?
Yeah, it's a good question. This comes up a lot in a lot of the leadership groups that I'm in and the people I'm talking with. And there's probably a couple. And I've done some surveys on LinkedIn as well, trying to get some feedback from people. And it's always interesting to see what retailers and restaurateurs are thinking. But consistently, digital transformation and technical integration is a huge part of it. So dealing with technology. And trying to implement that and trying to keep up with everything that's coming out and doing the research and becoming an expert on, this SaaS and this CRM and, it's all this data to manage and ways to deal with it and roll it out to make an impact on the organization. It's just been a tremendous amount of work and challenge for people.
Right.
And so that's probably the number one. Number 2, I can't not say it, but I have to say it's probably workforce management. Dealing with people is always a challenge, but everyone knows, and I hate to keep coming back to the pandemic, it happened. It caused a tremendous amount of turmoil in people's companies and business and culture change. And went from office to remote work.
Oh yeah.
And then people not wanting to work in the office. I much prefer stay at home in my PJs and do work too. I'm just saying it's great. I would prefer that, but that's just not how it is. You got to get business going. And so dealing with that and dealing with the changes with the workforce, and just really not having enough, it seems like we don't have enough bodies, and to fill positions. And I think it's really an interesting indicator of where the market is. A lot of people aged out, a lot of people are retired, and then there's just not the people to fill those positions. So that's a huge, huge, huge problem. Doesn't matter if you're in retail or if you're in hospitality or if you're running a restaurant. It's just trying to find the people has been challenging.
Right, which kind of feeds into that digital transformation because I feel like a lot of the brands that I work with in my accounts are grappling with, adopting new technologies to make up for that workforce gap. And not only that, it's also like consumer preference, their customer. I mean, everything from like AI at the drive-through and the menus to, ordering systems, point of sale, even to like food and beverage operations and everything is just everything all at once. It's like that movie that swept the Oscars, everything everywhere all at once. Like I just feel like,
that's great.
I feel like that's happening, to
it is.
This
we have a little faux shop in Santee where I work and live, and it's small. And I sat down the other day and a robot came up to serve me. I'm not kidding.
Like the soup, like the Asian soup.
Yes. Yeah.
And a robot came up to serve you that?
Came up and took my order. And I'm like, what is going on right now?
Robotic pho.
Yeah.
However
pho. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not cool enough to know. But either way, I was blown away because this is not a Fortune 500 company. I mean, it's just a tiny little shop, and they have a robot serving me. I'm like, talk about an indicator of workforce management problems. So,
and that's got to be expensive for a little shop like that, and then you scale it with these multi-site brands, and you know, to buy a robot for every site, like that's just an enormous outlay of.
Trying to manage that, I can only assume is a crazy nightmare for facility managers, for directors of operation. Just trying to integrate that. And the last thing, I think there's two really. I think there's data problems, data security problems, and privacy issues. And we've seen this all over the news. It seems like every time you turn around, there's some kind of data breach. Someone's walking off with millions of people's information. That goes along with that digital transformation and what's going on with that. And then I think last but not least really is sustainability. This is a big issue for a lot of clients. I actually have one of our clients that is in the discount retail sector is leading the way. I mean, you would not think of maybe that brand going all green, but man, the time and the money and the efforts being put into it to be completely just sustainable. It's incredible.
Interesting. And that also probably ties into digital transformation.
Well, a lot of it.
Super interesting. So how is CGP kind of addressing some of these concerns? Where have you had to pivot to kind of meet your customers where they are with some of these things?
Yeah. As much as they have to get to work and learn all this new stuff, so do we. So, and I'm looking for any shortcut I can. I got to tell you. So when and learning the digital transformation of the software and the platforms, and then what SaaS is really hot, what's going on with, different applications that I'm constantly learning. As a company, we're constantly learning, constantly teaching, because we have to provide, a certain level of value to our clients. And that means we have to understand what they're going through.
Right.
And so learning all that is a problem. But it's you just got to dive into it. You got to dive into it. With workforce management, we're really doing our very, very best at hiring, training. The owner is starting up a whole educational segment of our business where we're opening up charter school to teach people and get them into the trades. That's going to be opening up in Arizona. And that is a direct result of workforce problems and being able to provide value to our clients because they're having the same challenges. And, we've become an extension of their team because we're a self-performing contractor. That's the way we're doing it.
That's amazing. Yeah. And that kind of cues into how maybe you discovered OpenSpace, right? Because you're trying to keep up with what your clients want. And
100%.
Tell us how you got introduced to OpenSpace. How did that?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm a huge nerd. Surprise. Shocker. I know. Shocking. But I geek out over this stuff. I was meeting with our project management team, and we worked for a very large, iconic brand that everyone knows that serves coffee. And so I walked into this meeting, and he's showing me OpenSpace, and I'm like, whoa, what is this? And he's walking through the store with the platform and looking around, virtually. And I was blown away because right away, me being the biggest nerd I am, I could see how this is going to not just work in construction, but it's going to work in facility management and benefit operations and all these different segments, because the data and the clarity that comes with this type of platform is insane. It's amazing, actually. Yeah. So I geeked out over it, of course.
That's really great. And some of our brands are calling OpenSpace their virtual store because they using it during the construction process to track progress of construction and collaborate with their design teams remotely, especially during COVID. But then it stuck, right? Because people started seeing, I've got, few stores to build, and I need to be making sure that the brand is compliant during construction. But then they discovered the value of the handover process to facilities managers who typically look after hundreds of stores.
Yeah.
So now it's like, wait, one project can become the store in the open space platform where they can just continually capture and manage that visual
Well,
data.
we were talking about this earlier. To me, it's like a superpower because, when you're able to kind of look at this virtually and see different layers of progress from a facility standpoint, I mean, that's huge because you can see behind walls. Right now, we're just guessing. Like, I think based on the plans, it should be here, but I don't know if you guys have if anyone's ever built anything or dug into someone else's project, it doesn't always go to plan. So we're running into that a lot. So when you have access to this kind of ability to see behind walls and see what was done, and from a facility management standpoint, it's really going to allow you to make way better informed decisions.
Yeah. And also kind of support, maybe potential litigation issues or insurance issues. I know that some of our clients are using it now proactively for employee health and safety, asset protection, store security in the urban centers, super huge. We're by no means a security solution, but it actually helps them to get ahead of planning for security, right? Because they're able to kind of capture before and after. I don't know if those are some applications that you've seen.
There's so many applications I think that open space can really come in clutch for. I mean, just going from even simple rollouts. If you're doing rollouts on a multi-scale level, we're talking about hundreds and thousands of locations, doing a before inspection and then an after, it's just so much more detail and clarity, and you can get ahead of small problems in the very front.
Yeah.
And then when you make those adjustments, the rest of the rollout goes so much smoother.
Yeah, for sure. How has it been different using open space than some other solutions that you've used in the past?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think just the usability of your product and what it does and getting in there is just so much better. Transparency and clarity and information is the point of this whole thing, and being able to do that. And I've looked at other platforms and we've seen other things, and there's some stuff you set up and it takes some photos. That's great. I mean, the reality is, like most construction companies before open space, we're literally taking photo after photo after photo after photo after photo, and then using those, putting those together, sending them out to a client back and forth. It's not real time, or even close to real time. It's days later. And it's a lot of work to be able to communicate information to the client. And then they have to make some decisions upon receiving it. Either this is the way it should go, this looks good, or this is not right at all. Now, if you're able to do that on a platform and practically real time, and you send them the link, they're able to look at it right away. And they literally can walk around and look around just like they're there. The transformation of that communication is it's 100 times better, 1,000 times better. What were you telling you the other day? Like a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, we've had customers say 1 billion words.
It's got to be 1 billion words, because you just can't translate that short of that construction manager or that FM being on site. You can't replace that experience.
Right. We often find that folks, whether it's one of our retail or hospitality clients using it themselves, or their GCs or their maintenance providers like yourselves, sometimes there's like an initial sort of pushback to wearing a camera on your hard hat, which, by the way, you can put it on a selfie stick. It works just as good.
This is good.
Yeah, it works just as good. It's, a little less like people, having some resistance to that, having something on their heads or whatever. But so after that initial pushback, though, once they see how easy it is to use the field, and then they actually, like you just said, they get that transparency and they're able to send that imagery very quickly to anyone, anywhere in the world, and to many people, right? Because it's unlimited users on our platform. Speaking of SaaS, it's unlimited users, unlimited captures for the subscription. It's like they just sort of turn this corner, and it becomes part of their daily process.
Yeah.
It's almost like an addiction or something.
it's
Yeah.
so funny. I kind of equate it to like before Google Maps and then after. There's no question. I remember flopping around with the Thomas guide in a car.
My
And
gosh.
then, now if I want to go see something, I can go on Google Maps and zoom right in and walk, and cruise through it. Open space is like that to me, is like that for facility management and for construction. It's that huge of a jump.
Wow.
And being able to do exactly that, jump in and see where you're going, see what's going on. And not only just with your clients or the owners, but also with your subcontractors and the people you work with, being able to cross compare and show them what's going on. We're not using it currently, but you guys have the BIM, which is just, it blew my mind. If you guys didn't see this during Waypoint, you need to go back and go check it out. That kind of communication is a game changer. Just incredible.
The side-by-side BIM viewer. Yeah. It doesn't require any kind of native BIM software. It's all based on the Autodesk Forge viewer. And it's just as simple as clicking a little button to get a split screen of the actual reality versus the model.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it's really great. And as Shawn said, there are Waypoint recordings accessible now from our website, and you can hear all about the latest improvements we've made in that area as well. So thanks for mentioning that. So yeah, I mean, this is all great. This is all what's happening today, right? And, reality capture is what the name of the game for us, and it's that full view of the full site, and then being able to zoom in and see all kinds of particular areas where you need to see it. What do you think the future holds? Like, where do you see this all going in this area?
Oh, now you get to nerd out. Okay.
I know you love to do this, so
I do. It's interesting. The introduction of AI, I think no one is denying it is going to change the way we do business. It already has. And it's going to continue to grow so quickly. And I truly believe that it's going to be integrated so much into our communication, our day-to-day life, that I think of I'm a big Marvel guy, so I think of Jarvis from Iron Man. You're right there. I think honestly, when you look at what's going to be happening with AI incorporated with virtual reality, incorporated with augmented reality, that is where the future is going to be. You're going to have very easy to use devices that are one button simple, where you can go and use this type of information, see behind walls, walk through, have a virtual desktop. That's already happening. But then you combine that with AI, and you're going to be seeing facility managers, director of operations, construction managers talking with AI. How do I reroute this electrical to make this more efficient for the building? AI will be able to connect with your smart building and be able to tell you exactly what that route needs to be. I mean, mind blown. Take the engineer out of it. I mean, you can't really ever take him out, but the accessibility to the information is going to be at your fingertips to be able to make changes and make everything way more efficient. And I just think that it's going to continue to grow in that direction, where we're going to have a hard time living in a world without an augmented reality and an AI. And I don't think it's going to make us lazier. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're going to get what's that movie where everyone's super fat and lazy?"
Wall-E.
Wall-E. We're all going to turn into Wall-E. I don't think.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I hope not, but I kind of hope not. But I think it's going to be different than I think. It's just going to be a part of our normal day lives, and it's going to free us up to do amazing things with architecture and with buildings, and then beyond. Really
cool. That's super visionary, Shawn. Well, with all of this, consideration that our clients have to take into, I mean, just this mind-blowing amount of information they have to take in and decisions they have to make about digital transformation and all that. What's the best advice you'd give to our clients, just for like real advice today that they could use?
Yeah, I think the best advice I would give you is if you're not learning to be adaptable, you need to learn. You need to be able to adapt. And you got to be able to educate and be able to be open-minded on the new technology. Don't shut it off because it's brand new and you don't want to deal with it. I think anyone who's a medium to a late adopter, they need to start looking at right now at maybe being early adopters, because the technology is changing so quickly. Yes, but the people who are early adopting are the ones that are going to be able to take advantage of it. And right now, that's the difference between, staying competitive where you are now or leaping into the future and being able to serve your clients at a whole different level.
Yeah, for sure. I think we talked about that a little bit yesterday, that, one of our other customers said, well, I don't want to be the one that's late to the party in 2026, and when everybody's already using it and we're behind the curve. I want to be the one that's like first to the party, now, or even back in 2020 when, this kind of technology really took off.
Yeah. And I'm not saying go crazy, use your good judgment, but don't be late to the party. Yeah. I would be there early early to the party, but just, be sure you're right with the right people to the party.
That's really good advice. What about advice for technology companies like us? What can we do better to help serve the industry, in retail and hospitality? What could we do better?
Yeah, I think for you, it's really going to be about very similar advice, staying flexible, but know who you're serving and know your purpose and stay true to that purpose. And learn if you need to adapt who you are as a company and your different offerings, fine, but just stay true to your purpose and your vision.
Yeah, that's great advice. I love it. Yeah, I think that's basically a wrap. I want to make sure that everybody knows who CGP is. Tell us your service area again, Shawn, and where you guys scale to.
For sure. So we're a regional West Coast based company. So we have an office in Phoenix, San Diego, and San Jose, and we're growing. We're expanding into Nevada, and we're expanding in Texas very quickly. And that's been on our 5-year kind of growth journey for a while. But yeah, we're again we really kind of specialize in retail, hospitality, property management, and restaurants. And so that's for everything from construction to installing light bulbs. Doesn't matter. We'll hang your signs at Christmas. That's fine.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I'm going to put up a slide right quick for people to be able to contact both you and I if they want to talk with us more. As we mentioned before, Shawn and I share a lot of the same clients accounts. Some of them are global, some of them are national, some of them are regional, across pretty high visibility retail and hospitality brands. And
Yes.
So, we're happy to talk with you if you have any other questions. And I will leave that on the slide for a second. I do see that my colleague Jacinda put a link to the Open Space Waypoint recordings in the Q&A chat area. So if you are curious about our latest product announcements, you can go and see those recordings. Feel free to contact Shawn or I. Our email addresses are here. It might be a little hard to read. Contact us. Any closing comments, Shawn? It's been a pleasure to talk with you today for sure.
I'm excited. I'm excited for what's going on in our marketplace. I'm excited to be able to participate and partner with companies like Open Space, because you guys are just pushing the boundaries of what is possible. And I think as a company, as an industry, we need to continue to do that. Construction is not known for that, so, but I think that's changing, and we need to continue to change that point of view and dive right into, what is possible and technology as a whole. So
that's awesome, Shawn. We are thrilled to partner with companies like you, like CGP, and your leadership. And there's a lot more to come. I know we're going to be at a lot of common shows together in this space, and you'll be hearing more from us throughout the year. And yeah, it's just, thank you for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Always a pleasure to connect with you. Thanks for bringing the fire to the fireside chat, Shawn. And
I should have like a little lighter, you know what I mean?
yeah, some kind of little tabletop, little, the s'mores,
That's it.
that would be perfect. Well, cool. Well, it's always a pleasure. Say hi to Jim for me.
I will. Thank you.
Let's do this again sometime.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you again soon.